Hi, Kathy Donovan Wagner from RetailMavens.com. I am so excited to be with you here today because this is one of my favorite games. I love this game so much because you can use it in all different circumstances with all different behaviors or items that you want to sell. And the reality is that right now, we're getting ready to do our second markdowns next week, and so we're kind of in between things. And I really want I want to teach you this so that you can use it forever. Okay? It's called bingo. So what it is that you fill, and actually, let me say one other thing. When you start it, I recommend that you start it with a more of a tic-tac-toe grid, because as with any game, you want your team to experience success with it, right? And so that's why. So it's easier, of course, to do it this way, and then you can move on to, so do that once, maybe twice, and then move on to a traditional bingo board like this with the free space in the middle. And now what goes in each square, you're asking? Let me tell you. What you do is you make a combination of items to be sold as well as behaviors that you want your team to improve on or get better on. As well as you also want to mix it between ones that are easy and ones that are difficult. And then you want to take those bingo cards or tic-tac-toe cards and you want to mix it up. You want to make about, you can take the same items to fill all the squares and then make about, five perhaps for five different types of it, so that people aren't getting the same one, right? Alrighty, so let me show you some of the things that can go in the squares. So like I said, you want to do a mixture of specific items that you want to move or that you want to teach your team to know about, or specific vendors that you want them to learn about. Either way, you're using this game as really a learning tool is what it is. That's what I love about it so much. Okay, so it's items or vendors that you want them to learn, or it could also be new classes that you brought into the store. It could be a variety of things. And then also behaviors to improve. So I've given you some examples. So one would be thank you notes. Gosh, you guys, there is nothing like sending out thank you notes to people for spending money in your store. And acknowledging that they have a lot of places to go, but you're so grateful that they shop with you. In fact, I'm going to share with you an example of a thank you note that one of my cousins got from a place, and he said how it really had such an impact on him. He knows he'll never shop anywhere else because of it. And it's a guy. Guys don't usually act like that, right? All right, thank you notes. Getting an email address, that's easy. I know your team is doing that. Having a 5-item sale, that's a little more difficult, right? The other thing is putting together combinations of items in your store. So and what I find most effective is to do a combination of when you want people to add on more. So for example, if you're a clothing store, you want them to buy a dress maybe and a pair of earrings, right? Or let's say a book and a plush item that you're going to get people to put those two things together for a gift. Or if you're a quilt store or a sewing store, fabric and a pattern. Or if you're a store that people come to you usually for one thing and specifically, so like a pet store, people always come to you for food, right? Well, so then combining food with a toy or something like that, so that you're teaching your team how to add on. That's what's so important here. Starting the conversation with open-ended questions. Never ever saying, "May I help you today?" Never. Never. Share and show until they say no. And you're trusting your team, and you can trust them to be honest with you that they really kept working with the customer, really kept working with them, sharing solutions to their problems and showing those solutions until the customer said no. Asking them to join your loyalty club. Once again, that's an easy one, right? Calling 5 customers. This is a way to create, everyone should know how to do this. And this is a really important skill. And so maybe 5 is too big of a number at first. That's what I recommend to my private clients, is that all their team members call 5 customers a day, and that they have people to call. You're not calling them and saying, "Hey, Susie, we got great stuff, come on in." No, it's a personalized call. It's a call, so show your team how to look up what Susie has purchased before, and seeing what Ashley or Caitlin has bought before in your store, and so that you can call them and say, "Hey, I know you liked, you liked a line of tabletop wear before in your store, and we just got a new shipment in," like something like that. So it's really personalized to that customer. It's a customized call. It's not just a cold calling call. That's not what it is. Doing a Facebook post. That's awesome to have all your team members put a Facebook post and put their name in the front of it, and then either talk about their favorite item or a quote that they like for that day, whatever it is. But I really encourage you, because it really adds to the flavor and personality of your store. Sending an email and photos to a customer. So going back to if somebody likes a certain line of tabletop that you've got in your store, that then you're going to send them some photos of some new ones. That's another great way of contacting customers. So you use a combination of all these things to fill in those squares, and then you give prizes then for each time they make a bingo or tic-tac-toe. And then what you do at the end is that then you put all of the ones that people have already played in a in a basket, and you have them pick out ones that have been completed already, and then you have them do a cover all. Have you ever played bingo where they do a cover all at the very end? And so then that's for a bigger prize, right? That's for a prize like, they can leave an hour early, but they get paid to the end of their shift, or, or a gift certificate to the store, whatever it is. But you want to have a smaller prize for doing a straight line, and then a larger one, a more significant one for doing a cover all, fulfilling the whole thing. It's this is such a wonderful game that you can use to teach your team to instill them with what's important to you and what behaviors you want them to, how you want them to act with your raving fans. All right, thanks very much. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help. Thanks. Have a great day. Can't wait to hear how it goes. Tell me on the Facebook page. All right, bye-bye.